Sometimes I dream that the volcano explodes. I run and run, but I can't reach the door. But finally, I open it, and I'm out, and find all my family together. And there's where my nightmare ends.
But how do you weigh a nightmare against a life's worth of memories?
I would never leave Baños, because I like living here. I like everything there is here in Baños.
How do you walk away from your home, all for a threat that may or may not arrive in your lifetime? In their dreams, in their waking hours, the mountain looms. Tungurahua isn't the only volcano in Ecuador that's heating up. Just 60 miles to the north, its sister crater, Cotopaxi, has also been sending back menacing signs. Cotopaxi has the same kind of magma as the Black Giant, the same cycles of eruptions. And just like Tungurahua, its time may now be due. Early morning, and a team of volcanologists is nearly 16,000 feet up on the flanks of Cotopaxi. It's one of the tallest active volcanoes in the world, and lately, it's been giving some ominous signals. Patty has returned to the main office of Ecuador's Geophysical Institute to meet with Director Hugo Yepes and figure out exactly what's going on with Cotopaxi. The center monitors 12 of the 31 potentially active volcanoes in Ecuador. But in the past week alone, they've seen a 400% surge in seismic events beneath Cotopaxi. Patty and Hugo can't believe their eyes. Is it an instrument error, glacier movement, or is the volcano really rumbling to life? There's only one way to know. Hugo and Patty decide to send a scientific team to climb Cotopaxi. For the Institute team, on the way to the 19,000-foot summit, there is no time to hesitate. At any moment, the mountain could churn into action. As they approach the crater, Hugo sends the team an urgent message. He wants to check the seismograph to make sure they're running no risk. He tells them to stop climbing. Hugo himself has lost friends and colleagues in recent years in a volcanic blast just 10 miles west of Quito.
3 of our colleagues already died in explosions at Huayhuapichincha. So I believe that is more than enough. That's why we're so cautious and we keep an eye on the volcano as much as we can.
Arriving at the top, the team reports into Hugo.
At the moment, the most important abnormalities are the fumaroles. If we could make a systematic monitoring of them, we could detect the elements that are being emitted, which probably correlate with the increased activity of the volcano.
Okay, perfecto. Be careful. We talk later.
Emanating from the 2,000-foot wide crater is a strong smell of sulfur and clouds of ash and steam. More and more fumaroles are boiling within. The volcano is heating up.
We'd like to proceed back to Quito.
A later flyover by the hyperspectral plane provides clear visual confirmation. The glacier has melted, remarkably, in just 5 years. Back on nearby Tungurahua, things are also heating up.
On the north side, on the northeast side, and around the entire east side.
Peter and Patty can see the activity on their instruments, but the summit itself is lost in the clouds.
Interesting that we're getting explosions more frequently with less interval of time between.
They can't get a clear fix on what's happening.
Something's going on very important.
To get more information, Patty contacts a team half a world away. Hawaii's Thermal Remote Sensing Squad.
And we also had
Using real-time satellite data, they can monitor most of the volcanoes on Earth. The Institute sends Patty a thermal picture of the entire country of Ecuador.
there it is. This is the map of Ecuador, and here's Tungurahua volcano. We only have one light bulb, one kind of super big light bulb in the
burning light
Andes
bulb.
that's lit up.
Yeah, good.
The volcano is lit up like a forest fire, and it may get worse any moment. Patty and Peter return to Baños with a new urgency. After 3 years of waiting, it's hard to get a community to stay focused, but they're going to have to try. For the townspeople, the volcanologists' warnings seem like false alarms.
It's been 4 times that the volcanologists have warned of a dangerous situation. 4 times, nothing has happened. There is really very little chance that enough pressure builds up to explode such a thing. That would be a cataclysmic event that would wipe out the whole country. Tungurahua has never exploded. It's not that kind of volcano.
Patty and Peter know it's precisely that kind of volcano. And when it strikes, it can strike fast. The fields Tungurahua hit in the last eruption 80 years ago now have houses that could be consumed in under 5 minutes.
My concern then is really whether the people are well enough trained and whether they will react in time. And on the other hand, whether we ourselves, the scientists, can give an adequate warning so people can react and also get out of town. And if those don't happen, and those are big ifs, really, I'm concerned that we might have a tragedy here and that a lot of that responsibility would be over us.
There would be.
As Tungurahua continues to rumble, a daring new experiment begins. Jonathan Lees is climbing the flanks of the volcano, entering the danger zone in search of an elusive prey.
Hello, Patty.
Jonathan?
Hello, Patty. We are here now above the station. We've walked up a little bit, a couple hundred meters above the station.
We have just observed a strong emission coming out of the summit.
Lees is one of the new generation of scientists who work with sound. He's installing a series of microphones on the volcano
And then I can place it back in
to
here.
capture its subsonic reverberations,
Then we
up to
check,
20,000
and we're
hertz
trying to see if we're north
below
south.
human
Looks good.
hearing. It's a brand new kind of predictive tool, and it's giving
Now
them
what we're
some
gonna do is we're
startling
gonna check all of
information.
our instrumentation to make sure that everything is working. Now we've taken the signal and we've converted it into an audio file, and now I'm going to play that back in the audio mode.
These sounds come from deep within the volcano conduit. The waves traveling up at more than 1,000 feet a second, giving telltale clues of the magma and gases at work within. The sounds can suggest the conduit is choked. To Patty, the rumbling is actually quieter than before and deeper. A hint the volcano may be changing in disturbing ways.
Well, the volcano in the last several weeks has been changing personality, including some very large explosions. We are concerned that some of these explosions are not being preceded by many seismic signals or much seismic signatures that tell us, that warn us that a large explosion could come.
Now, for Peter and Patty, there is no time to waste. If the explosions are coming with little warning, the people of Baños must be prepared, and soon. In a full-scale eruption, they will have less than 30 minutes to get to safety. And in the highest risk sections, less than 3. Now the task of Michael Sheridan becomes even more important. He's been working with the data collected during the flight over the volcano. His goal? To help the Halls predict the eruption, not when it will come, but where and how. On the virtual volcano, different colors mark previous pyroclastic flows. On site at the Vascoon Valley, the Halls can see the eruption emerging into 3 dimensions. In a small-scale blast, the pyroclastic flows will roll down the western slope of the mountain, away from the town.
It was sort of just a lopping over. You didn't really have much of a column going up.
This is boiling over the top.
Just boiling over.
But in the event of a full-scale pyroclastic explosion, it's an entirely different scenario. The pyroclastic column will shoot up, collapsing the weakened eastern lip of the crater, jumping the channels and barreling down on Banos at terrifying speeds. Patty and Peter must work now, and work quickly. With Sheridan's new information in hand, they set out to expand and improve their evacuation strategy.
So this whole area is high risk.
For the Halls, the pressure is on.
Here we are at the school.
Most critical, the school in the Vascoon Valley. A school with hundreds of kids, including Ricardo and Adrian.
And these kids, they have this gate to come out of, and they'll be coming out really quite fast. But we have to discuss where they're going to go, because they could go downhill.
Yeah.
But you know, we realized that this street would be used as an avenue by the pyroclastic flows, and since the main
Patty and
channels
Peter
over there,
believe the flow will come coursing down this road. Their decision, for the children to run uphill towards the pyroclastic flow. It may seem counterintuitive, even a little crazy.
So let's test that. Let's walk it out and see how long it takes us to get to safety by going that way. Okay, Patty, we're going to time it right from the gate. So here we go. Click.
Go.
By heading up the canyon, then over to the side, they will find the most sheltered area.
To get up there.
Go right.
But
make
how
the bag
long will it
here.
take the school kids to get to safety?
That's 25 seconds right there.
Uh-huh. Well, keep going.
They're leaving nothing to chance, counting the footsteps and the seconds to ensure the kids' lives.
It's pretty good from here, Peter. What do you have?
Yeah, 48.
48 seconds.
48 seconds to right
One
here.
and a half minutes down to there, or 2 minutes.
Those caught in harm's way will have 3 short minutes to clear this danger zone.
Safety area in 3 minutes.
3 minutes is all they can afford, with a pyroclastic flow falling at 100 miles an hour. With their new information in hand, Peter and Patty work hard to convince local authorities that they need to test the new evacuation plan. The mayor of Banos agrees. But how many residents will take part in this test? Will everyone just ignore it? Red Cross workers and civil defense teams take up their positions. Then, amazingly, at 10 a.m., the volcano actually rumbles to life. Patty sounds the alert. Every resident of Banos has a bag pre-packed, just ready to go. Merchants lock up their stores, and residents take to the streets. The family of Adrian and Ricardo need to respond quicker still. They're in the highest risk area, the danger zone. The clock is now ticking. They have to move fast, following the route the Halls laid out. Peter waits anxiously, counting the seconds. And then, just as the clock hits 3 minutes, they appear. The Cocas have made it out of the danger zone. The plan has worked. The family joins the rest of the townspeople as they head into the 3 main safety zones sheltered from the volcano. It's a victory for Adrian and Ricardo and the whole town of Banos.
I think that if there was an eruption today or next week, that most of the people in the high-risk area would get down to a lower risk area in the necessary 10 minutes. I think we've done very well today.
Thousands of residents, surprising numbers, showed up to participate. And while it was only a test, now at least they have a plan. In a land of volcanoes, a plan may be the best you can hope for. For Patty and Peter, the work continues. Even now, they are still out there, still watching Tungurawa.